Yeah, so I saw the reflection. Like I said, this we had a laser pointer who's across the street. And as soon as I found out about him, I said, "Ha!" I said, "I see you." I said, "There's a guy with a laser pointer of some kind of a pointer of some kind. I don't know exactly, not a traditional, just like a pointer, but who knows what kind of laser that was." But I saw the reflection hit this glass, and like I said, this is see-through. This is transparent, especially from the other side when you're underneath it. It's supposed to be keeping the heat in or whatever, I think, but it doesn't work to keep this near-infrared lasers out. It does not work. In any case, I want you to see these people and how giddy and happy they are for being evil, awful people who like to torture people, torture people's genitals, torture people's penises, scrotums, inner thighs, up high, in the thigh area. That's where they're aiming at me every day, multiple times a day, these people. And they want to say I'm on drugs right now because I do a drug test, no drugs in my system whatsoever. Never done drugs in my life. One caveat to that, from 2015, I've talked about this many times. I thought somebody gave me marijuana, and I'd never tried marijuana. Even to this day, I've never tried marijuana in my life because that stuff that he gave me was not marijuana. A little tiny bag, but what it did do was cure the halitosis that they gave me. This little tiny bag of whatever it was, because my doctor, when I finally saw a doctor and told her about this story, she said it was probably artificial spice, she called it, artificial or synthetic marijuana. I don't know what it was. It doesn't matter. But all I know is it cured the halitosis they gave me when I was 17 years old in high school. And I had that from 17 to age 42. And they cured it overnight with whatever that stuff was. Overnight. That's how I know it was them that gave me the halitosis when I was 17 years old. These evil people. This country is run by evil racists. That's who runs this country. And it's all Democrats, Republicans. They all know this has been going on for a long time. Nobody steps up to try to stop it. Therefore, they're all complicit. And it just gets uglier and uglier the deeper down you go, and the less fortunate you are, the more you're in it, and you're one of their freaking lackeys and one of their slaves. And if you've been in the prison system, you're probably going to be a slave of theirs. These people, because that's what they want to do. This is how they capture you and make you a slave. You enter the prison system or whatever, boom, now you're going to end up being their slave, or they'll fucking torture you too. They'll fucking make your life a living hell if you don't jump on board with these people. So anyways, though they're just totally evil, though. Totally freaking evil. I'm getting tortured now for the last hour. I'm getting burned with near-infrared lasers in my private areas nonstop for the last hour. Day after Christmas, but I was being tortured yesterday too. I was being lasered yesterday with near-infrared lasers in the same spots. Not as long as this right now, and not as hot as this right now, but that's what's happening right now. They did this Christmas Day. Nothing sacred to them. These people are not, they don't care about Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, presumably not Easter, they don't care. They don't care about churches. I get targeted in churches. I get targeted in chapels. I'm right here. This is next to church. This is Glide Memorial Church. I'm right on the sidewalk. This is a glass that goes into their place. They don't care. They really don't care. There's nothing sacred to these people. Nothing. They want to go around claiming that they're Christians. They're not. How can they be Christians when they're down with torture? And not just down with torture. They're down with 472 consecutive days of torture. That's how many days of torture I've been being tortured. It's approximately since August 1st, 2024. You calculate the number of days. August 1st, 2024 till now, which is December 26th, day after Christmas, 2025, and it's about 1:30 in the morning almost. And I'm just, stuck here now, being tortured with these near-infrared lasers from these people. And I just want everybody to know what these people are, who these people are. They're racist is the first and foremost. They run this country. Deep state is aptly an apt phrase to use because they work outside the law. They're committing crimes. This is a national organized criminal conspiracy that's been going on for I don't know how long exactly, but I can tell you this. My family's been persecuted by these people for almost 5 decades, potentially as long as 47 years. So it's between at least 42 and 47 years. And I say between because I don't want to necessarily say some of my memories when I was like 5 years old or 6 years old. I don't know for a 100% fact that they apply to this situation, but they might. But definitely by the time I was 10, they definitely do at that point. My memories definitely do not. It seems to me that they definitely apply these things that started happening when I was 10 and beyond, all through high school, all through elementary school, junior high school, college. All these people, it's been all these people all along. And of course, after that, of course, working, after that, and it's been them all along, these people. Here I'm at age 52 now, and it's still these people. I can't get away from these people. They will never let me alone. Never, ever. So, but now I'm being burned by these people. I'm getting burned. I've got blisters. They're like getting pussy. I got burned blisters that are clearly a result of having been burned. These aren't just like, some kind of, I don't know what you might think, but they're blisters from getting burned. When you touch something hot and you get a blister within an hour or two or whatever, next day, that's what they are. They totally look like that. They're fucking blisters from heat is what I got all down there from these people. And they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit what happens to me. I've got all kinds of damage to my capillaries, in my extremities, and my feet, my hands, all kinds of damage, massive damage to my body from these people. I've got massive weight loss in my upper body. I've never done drugs, like I said, except that one caveat I just told you about. I can go into more details about that one day. I think I have been in other videos, by the way, but a lot of my videos get truncated. So I had a Dropbox account, and a lot of my videos, so what they did is they go in there and they truncate them. So if I have like a 1.2 gigabyte video, next thing I know, it's only 120 megabytes. They just went, 90% of it got chopped off because that's what they do. It's fucking unbelievable. They cover their tracks because they're fucking evil and they're a national organized criminal conspiracy, and they're covering their tracks. They're covering up their crimes. Massive crimes they've committed against me. I've been assaulted over probably 7,000 times at this point. I'm not kidding. Over 7,000 times. You count every individual instance of being lasered, acoustic sound weapons, or the poisons they use. This is the United States of America. This is San Francisco too, by the way. If you're into sci-fi and Star Trek, this is where Starfleet Command and Starfleet Academy are supposed to be, right? A utopian city with people who are enlightened, people who definitely not down with torture. They're definitely not down with 472 consecutive days of torture. They're definitely not down with 8,800 hours of torture. I'm probably one of the most tortured persons to ever have walked this earth. That's not a hyperbolic statement. That is a fact. I suspect I'm one of the most tortured persons that have ever walked this earth. Isn't that crazy? That's freaking crazy, man. It's insane. And these people are insane. These people are utterly insane. So I'm just recording this here. Like I said, it's like 1:30. It's been going on since about 15 after or 20 after 12 midnight. I'm being freaking burned. I'm being burned right here. But that's why I got all this shit on my lap. I'm trying to protect myself, but it doesn't work. I'm being burned by these people. And they're just awful, evil people. There's a God in heaven. There is. I surely do believe that. I know that. I saw my parents this morning. They're in heaven. And they're proud of what I'm doing. That I've not given in to these people. That I've not become one of their slaves. That I've not acquiesced to evil and become one of their slaves. So they're just waiting for me someday to get up there, whenever that'll be. Near, long, short, I don't know. It could be tonight. It could be today. At this point, it's morning. It could be today. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week, next month. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm never going to give in to these people, ever. When I think about all that they've done to me. My sister told me a story, in fact, like probably at this point, maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little less, about something that they did to her. And I didn't believe her because I thought she was just trying to get my reaction, to see how I would react to her saying something like that. Now I'm totally starting to believe her now. It's like, these people are totally capable of that because there's no consequences for them. They will do whatever the heck they want, and they won't get caught, and they won't be prosecuted. Nobody will believe my sister if she wants to go to somebody, and maybe she gets threatened. Maybe they'll do more shit to her. Maybe they'll make her life even worse. They will do anything, these people. They're fucking evil. And then they try to say shit like that. This guy, they try to get me to shut up. And they're fucking evil. They're awful people. They're awful rapists, murderers. My parents, I suspect, were murdered by these people using acoustic sound devices. These are weapons that can't be traced. They can't be. They have weapon acoustic sound devices can damage soft tissue. And they can damage they can give you strokes. They can stop your heart. They can damage your Achilles tendons. They can make you have an Achilles rupture by having softened up your Achilles. Next thing you know, you're going to play your sport. You're going in for your cornerback or your basketball player or whatever. Next thing you know, you ruptured your Achilles playing your sport. And it's like, oh, how'd that happen? It's potentially, there's people targeting them because they don't like them. Because they made them mad. Because they're fucking snowflakes, these people. They want to act like other people are snowflakes and they're tough guys and they're alphas. These are snowflakes, man. These are weak little fucking snowflake people that act cowardly. These are cowardly attacks they're doing because they're not right here in my face doing anything. They're a standoff with their fucking invisible weapons that you can't see or hear. And they're sanctioned by they get cover from the law enforcement, because law enforcement, look up Mike German. He's a former FBI agent. Mike German is his name. It's easy for me to remember this name because my name is Michael. His name is Mike. He goes by Mike. His last name is German, and I'm half German. My mom was German. That's why it's easy for me to remember this guy's name. But he was an undercover FBI agent, and he said that law enforcement had been infiltrated by white supremacists or had white supremacist sympathizers all throughout the country. And nothing was ever done. This report he did. I believe he first came out in the Guardian, maybe in 2017, perhaps, maybe earlier. I can't remember. Nothing happened of it. No hearings, no nothing. He even said it was a serious problem. He did interviews subsequently. Nothing was done, and nobody cares. That's how serious this is in this country, and how rampant it is, and how it's all being swept under the rug, and it's been going on forever. It's just been getting worse, more entrenched, because once they're inside your organization, then especially once they get into human resources, now they can do purges, and they can basically essentially fire people. They're not going to say why, but they'll slowly but surely get rid of all the people they don't trust and fill them in with their incompetent fucking lackeys who are racist. That's what they do. And they do this everywhere they go. They'll do this everywhere they freaking go, these people. Next thing you know, they may not have 50% of the people, but they will have all these positions of power. Law enforcement, for example, hospitals, transportation, all these different things that that a lot of people rely on. They'll have them. They'll have their people in these key places. Anyways, I'm gonna stop recording only because my battery is low, and I don't want to take up all my space on my phone here. So I'm gonna. It's 13 minutes. I've been being burned this whole time. Still being burned. So it's probably close to like an hour and maybe an hour and hour and 10 minutes. I think that I've been burned. It's gone on for as long as 3 hours before. The longest I've been burned was 3 hours. So who knows how long this will last? I don't know. Then maybe they'll decide they'll never stop one day. Maybe at one point they'll say, we're going to never stop. Maybe that could certainly happen. It's certainly some